Night terrors. The haunting of Little Aunt. My maternal grandparents and paternal grandparents were among the last batches of college students before the Cultural Revolution. Last year, my grandfather attended a high school class reunion in another city and brought back a high school classmate. According to seniority, I should address him as Grandpa Smith. The story I'm about to tell is the one Grandpa Smith shared with us at the dinner table. It all started when my grandfather teased him, saying that Grandpa Smith wasn't a good student in the first 2 years of high school, but his academic performance suddenly improved in his final year, and he even managed to obtain a university degree. In those days, being a university student was highly valued, and it was rare for a village or town to produce one. Grandpa Smith was probably a little drunk at the time and showed us a pendant hanging from his neck. I didn't pay much attention to it, but it seemed to be a jade necklace or something similar. Grandpa Smith said that after graduating from junior high school, he went to high school, which was quite far from his home. There was a large empty space in between, and it took him 1 or 2 hours to walk there. Initially, he didn't have any intention of going to university and planned to finish high school and be done with it. So, during his first year of high school, he often skipped classes, and it was common for him to be absent for several days. My grandfather laughed at him, saying that they rarely saw him during that time, and he almost forgot there was a student like him in their class. In theory, with Grandpa Smith's attitude toward studying, he had almost no chance of going to university. However, a change occurred in his second year of high school. One day, he didn't skip classes and went to school on time. After evening self-study, it was already midnight when he walked along the way home. There was no one around him, but suddenly, he felt an inexplicable palpitation, followed by a feeling that someone or something was following him. He was frightened because, although people didn't dare to say it out loud, there was still some superstition in their hearts during that era. He mustered up the courage and didn't dare to look back. He ran frantically for a while, until he suddenly saw a girl up ahead, who seemed to be around the same age as him. The girl glanced at him, then stopped as if intentionally waiting for him. He said that after seeing this girl, he didn't feel as scared anymore. He no longer had the feeling of being chased by someone from behind. The girl gave him a sense of peace, and at that time, he didn't think much about it. Perhaps because the girl looked quite decent and gentle, he didn't feel anything strange. So he approached her and asked, "What are you doing here so late at night?" He said that when he saw the girl, he wasn't as scared as before, and he didn't have the feeling of being chased. The girl gave him a sense of comfort. He didn't think too much about it because the girl looked fairly normal, quiet, and he didn't feel that anything was amiss, so he dared to strike up a conversation. I think he was scared and finally saw someone up ahead. The girl glanced at him and scolded him with a displeased tone, saying, "You have no respect. Call me Little Aunt." At that moment, he became interested and intentionally called her Little Aunt a few times in a teasing manner. After he finished calling her that, the girl seemed quite pleased. From then on, they walked together and chatted while walking. They walked together for a while, and the girl introduced herself as Little Aunt. Grandpa Smith found her behavior and speech peculiar but intriguing. As they conversed, he discovered that Little Aunt had a vast knowledge of various topics, ranging from history to literature to philosophy. Her insights were profound and beyond her apparent age. Days turned into weeks, and Grandpa Smith and Little Aunt developed a close friendship. They would meet after school, and she would guide him in his studies. Grandpa Smith's academic performance improved significantly under her guidance. He went from being an average student to one of the top performers in his class. Rumors began to circulate among their classmates about Grandpa Smith's sudden transformation. Some speculated that he had found a private tutor, while others believed he had made a deal with supernatural beings. Grandpa Smith dismissed these rumors, knowing that it was all due to his encounters with Little Aunt. One day, Grandpa Smith mustered the courage to ask Little Aunt about her background and how she possessed such profound knowledge. She smiled mysteriously and replied, "Some secrets are best left untold, but remember, knowledge is a powerful tool, and wisdom is a gift." Their friendship continued throughout their final year of high school, but as graduation approached, Little Aunt informed Grandpa Smith that their time together would soon come to an end. She explained that she had fulfilled her purpose of guiding him and helping him reach his potential. Grandpa Smith was saddened by the news, but understood that their paths were meant to diverge. On the day of their high school graduation, Grandpa Smith looked for Little Aunt to say goodbye properly, but she was nowhere to be found. He searched the entire school, but she had vanished without a trace. All that remained was the pendant she had given him, the jade necklace, which he treasured as a memento of their time together. Grandpa Smith went on to attend university, excelling in his studies and achieving academic success. However, he never forgot the influence of Little Aunt and the profound impact she had on his life. Years passed, and Grandpa Smith became a respected scholar and educator. He often shared his story with his students, emphasizing the importance of seizing opportunities, cherishing friendships, and embracing the power of knowledge. To this day, Grandpa Smith keeps the jade necklace close to his heart, a reminder of the extraordinary encounters and the enigmatic Little Aunt who changed the trajectory of his life. The story has been passed down through generations, serving as a chilling reminder that sometimes the most significant transformations come from unexpected sources. But deep in the recesses of his mind, Grandpa Smith can't help but wonder, was Little Aunt merely a guardian angel or something far more sinister lurking in the shadows, waiting for its next victim? Horror story: The Haunting of Hollow Oak. In the small town of Hollow Oak, Pennsylvania, a sinister legend loomed over its inhabitants like a specter in the night. They whispered of an ancient force known as the Spirit of Old Oak, a malevolent presence that held sway over life and death. Generations adhered to a tradition where an inverted pot was buried in a sacred location, surrounded by eerie tree branches. This unholy shrine, known as Old Oak, was believed to provide safe passage for departed souls, a shield against the darkness that lurked beyond. As the years passed and the relentless march of progress swept through the rural landscape, Hollow Oak found itself caught in the grip of change. The once tightly knit villages dispersed, making way for modernity. The lands were divided, and Old Oak, once nestled in the heart of each community, was displaced to the barren center of farmlands. No longer could the grieving families perform their ancestral ritual without trampling the very life they depended upon. In this new era, makeshift replicas of Old Oak were erected near funeral sites, a haphazard attempt to preserve the dwindling remnants of tradition. The true Old Oak, abandoned and forgotten, stood solitary and forsaken amidst the vast expanse of crops. It was here, adjacent to the dwelling of the beleaguered Grandma Edna, that the wicked saga of Hollow Oak would unfold. Grandma Edna, a stalwart matriarch, dwelled in a house that creaked with age, mirroring her weary bones. The original Old Oak, no longer revered, loomed just beyond her walls, a reminder of forgotten customs. Driven by a misguided belief that Old Oak's presence was inauspicious, Grandma Edna's son, the skeptical cousin David, took it upon himself to eradicate the relic of the past. With tools in hand, he uprooted the ancient shrine, unaware of the horror he would soon unleash. The repercussions were swift and merciless. As the sun dipped beneath the horizon, an insidious malady wrapped its icy tendrils around Grandma Edna's frail form. The once vibrant woman withered before their eyes, the flickering flame of life dimming to a mere ember. Desperation gnawed at cousin David's soul, compelling him to seek medical intervention. Hospitals became their battleground as they fought an implacable foe, cancer, an adversary so relentless that it defied all conventional treatments. Time ticked away, each agonizing second punctuated by sorrow and anguish. The family's coffers drained as medical bills amassed, their hopes dashed against the jagged rocks of despair. They teetered on the precipice of resignation, certain that even the most renowned institutions held no respite for their beleaguered loved one. But fate, in its infinite cruelty, had not abandoned them entirely. Whispers from the community reached Cousin David's ears, murmurs of an alternative path to salvation. The local Christian church, its devout members shrouded in the mysteries of both faith and tradition, possessed an arcane knowledge that could hold the key to their deliverance. Uncertain but desperate, Cousin David extended a trembling hand, inviting the enigmatic representatives of the church into their fractured sanctuary. They arrived, cloaked in somber vestments, their eyes gleaming with an understanding that transcended the veil of mortality. As they explored the desolate chambers of Grandma Edna's dwelling, their solemn expressions betrayed a revelation. It was then, in a hushed tone fraught with ominous significance, that the Christian emissaries confronted Cousin David. The accusations hung in the air, like a noose waiting to tighten around his neck. They unveiled the dark truth that he had tried to bury, an act that defied the very essence of Hollow Oak's spirit. By toppling the ancient old oak, Cousin David had unleashed a torrent of wrath upon their family. The spirit, awakened from its dormant slumber, sought vengeance for the desecration of its sacred dwelling. A pall of dread settled upon their hearts as the weight of their transgressions bore down upon them. Yet there remained a glimmer of hope, a slender thread that could unravel the curse that ensnared them. The emissaries urged Cousin David and his kin to restore Old Oak, to beg forgiveness with unwavering sincerity. Redemption, they whispered, could be found through humble acts of contrition. With trembling hands and troubled souls, they embarked on a journey of restitution. The shattered remnants of Old Oak were reverently pieced together, a fragile semblance of its former glory. Their contrition poured forth like a desperate prayer, their remorse echoing through the lonely night. In the depths of their souls, they sought absolution, pleading for the malignant force to relent. But salvation seldom comes without sacrifice. Grandma Edna, clinging to life's fraying tapestry, sought solace in the embrace of a newfound faith. The pages of the Bible became her refuge, its verses a balm to her anguished spirit. She recited fervent prayers, beseeching the divine to intercede on her behalf. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The cancer that had consumed Grandma Edna, defying the finest medical minds, began to recede. Skepticism transformed into awe, their collective spirits wavering between disbelief and awestruck wonder. Against all odds, Grandma Edna, the embodiment of resilience, emerged victorious from the depths of her affliction. A testament to the unyielding human spirit, Grandma Edna lived to witness her 80th year, a testament to the power of redemption and the fragile balance between tradition and progress. Her days were spent imparting her extraordinary tale to the younger generation, a cautionary reminder of the perils that lay dormant within the annals of Hollow Oak. The haunting of Hollow Oak had etched itself indelibly into their souls. The spirit of Old Oak, forever vigilant, served as a testament to the ties that bind the living and the dead. And so, the townsfolk of Hollow Oak learned the painful lesson that some traditions, no matter how archaic or obscure, possess an enduring power that transcends time itself, a power that should never be trifled with or forsaken.